What if you could see the future? Seriously, not with some crystal ball or psychic hotline, but with a tool you already have, right now, inside your own head. Well, today, we're diving into something called simulation thinking. It's a totally practical, scientific way to train your brain to see what's coming and then use that insight to build a way better future.
So let's just start with that question right there. What if predicting the future wasn't some kind of superpower, but a skill? Something you could actually practice and get better at, just like learning to play the guitar or getting good at a sport. That right there is the core promise of simulation thinking.
So what is this thing, really? At its heart, simulation thinking is the skill of mentally experiencing things before they ever happen. And let's be super clear, this has nothing to do with magic or anything supernatural. It's all about taking a natural function of your brain, its incredible power to imagine, and just using it on purpose to make way smarter choices today. Now, to really get a grip on this, we got to look at the science. Because once you understand how your brain is already doing this all the time, unconsciously, well, using that power on purpose becomes a whole lot easier. Okay, so the biggest myth we have to bust is that foresight is some kind of magical gift only a few people have. The reality is actually way more interesting. Your brain is, for all intents and purposes, a prediction organ. It is constantly running these tiny little simulations. I mean, think about something as simple as pouring a cup of coffee. You don't sit there and calculate the physics, right? Your brain just knows how that liquid is going to flow. It's predicting the immediate future. Simulation thinking is just taking that natural ability and scaling it up. And this isn't just a cool idea. There's real science backing it up. First, there's something called predictive processing theory, which basically says your brain is always guessing what's going to happen next and then learning from its mistakes. So the more you practice, the better your predictions get. And then you've got research from places like Stanford and Harvard showing that vividly imagining yourself succeeding at something actually improves how you do it in the real world. So yeah, this stuff actually works. All right, so we know it's grounded in science. Awesome. But how do you actually do it? Let's get practical. We're going to walk through a really clear 4-step method.
Okay, here's the entire framework. It's actually a loop. You start by just looking at where you are now. Then you imagine a few different futures. You vividly experience each one in your mind. And then, this is the key, you use that insight to decide what to do right now in the present. It's simple, it's powerful, and you can do it over and over. Let's break it down.
Let's make step 2, drawing multiple futures. Really concrete. Let's say you're thinking about your career. Instead of just picturing one single path, you map out 4. Your baseline is basically what happens if I just keep doing what I'm doing. The success scenario is your absolute best case outcome. The risk scenario forces you to face your fears, like, what if AI makes my job obsolete? And then there's the wild card, for something totally unexpected. Doing this breaks you out of tunnel vision.
And that brings us to the most important and honestly the most fun part, actually experiencing the future. The mindset here is everything. You need to act like a film director. Don't just analyze these futures, direct them. For each one, ask yourself, what do I see? What do I hear? What does it feel like to be there? The more vivid and detailed you can make that mental movie, the more powerful the whole thing becomes.
And when you do all this, it leads to this massive shift in your thinking. You stop trying to guess the future based on what happened in the past. Instead, you start designing your present from the future you actually want. There's a name for this technique. It's called backcasting. You pick your destination, your ideal future, and then you work backward, step by step, to figure out exactly what you need to do, starting today, to make it happen. So what happens when you start doing this regularly? I mean, what's the real payoff? Let's look at how this little mental workout translates into some major real-world advantages. The benefits here are honestly pretty profound. First, your insight gets way sharper. You start to see changes coming before they happen. Your judgment gets better because you've already explored a bunch of different outcomes. You also get incredible emotional control, because if you've mentally rehearsed for failure, you're way less likely to panic when things get tough. And finally, it just makes you more creative. You start to find solutions that pure logic would never get you to. And look, this isn't some fringe idea. Top performers in every field are using this. CEOs use it to game out how the market might shift. Investors use it to simulate what could go wrong with their portfolios. Elite athletes have been using visualization for decades to win championships. And, most importantly, you can use it for, well, everything. Navigating a tough conversation, making a big life choice, you name it. Okay, this is the best part. You do not need to set aside hours every day for this. You can start training your brain and actually start improving the accuracy of your mental simulations with a super simple 5-minute daily exercise. It's this easy. 3 steps. In the morning, just predict 3 small things that'll happen today, like how a meeting will go or what a friend might text you back. Then, in the evening, just check in. What actually happened? Finally, analyze it. Why were you right? Why were you wrong? This little feedback loop is what scientifically trains your brain's predictive models. Over time, you just get better.
And that's simulation thinking. It's so much more than just a cool mental model. It's a skill that gives you the power to stop just reacting to life and to start actively designing it from the future you want. So I'll leave you with this one question. What future are you gonna simulate first?